Hi guys, Kim here. Welcome to Backyard Blooms. I have another list today. So today is just going to be like come and garden with me today. I got lots of things to share with you. I cannot wait to get my April garden tour done. I haven't done it yet, but I'm like, should I do it now? Should I do it now? Because everything's starting to burst out in blooms and my roses are absolutely gorgeous already. So I might just in this video just have to share some with you because it's so exciting. Like it is gorgeous, you guys. Like I can't even explain how pretty it is. But the number one thing that I'm going to do today talking about roses is on my Munstead wood. I have one rose from last year that I got a support on, and then I need to add 3 more. And these supports I got from Gardener Supply, so let me share those supports with you. So I hope you can see this right here. It's a scalloped support. I got this from Gardener Supply. I really like it. It is sturdy, and I like that the roses can, like, even if it's like bigger, that you can like put branches here. So that's the reason why I like that, and that's what it looks like. So I've got several of these, and I've got 3 of these that I'm going to help support my Munstead wood, and it is so pretty. If you guys like that deep red burgundy color of a rose, like Munstead wood from David Austin is for you. And I got all those online. So you can go to David Austin online, and I bought mine bare root. And if you can like see my prior videos of me planting bare root, I like bare root because I feel like it's more of established rose. I think maybe the graft on it is probably several years older versus if you get like a container and start growing it, it is much smaller. So anyways, I'm very excited about that. So we're gonna head over at the very end of my list, and we're going to put these supports on my Munstead wood roses. All right, the second thing that's on my list today is to support my foxglove. So we got a really heavy rain, I think last week or a couple of days, and my foxgloves were probably about 4 feet tall. Like they're so pretty. I wish they always bloomed every single year instead of being a biennial, because I've got lots of foxgloves that I grew from seed this year, but it may not flower this year. It might be next year that I'm going to get my glorious, unless I buy another foxglove already established that will bloom, of course, this year. So the ones that are blooming now, I planted last year. So if I keep it up, then I'll have blooms and blooms and blooms from foxgloves every single year. Now, I will tell you that they are a little bit poisonous to touch and for animals, but my Sasha girl, that's one plant that she has never gone up and even tried to bother. So that'd be up to you whether it's beautiful enough for you to plant in your garden or not. Well, anyways, I've got one of them that flopped over because it was so heavy in that rain. So this is another support, and I just bought these from Lowe's or Home Depot. I did not get this from Gardener Supply, but I'm sure they have something very similar to that. And I'm going to put that in the ground. It's pretty tall. It's about 3 feet tall, and that's going to support my foxglove. I have one that's already gorgeous, and I don't want it to flop over and you lose its bloom. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do today. That's number 2 on my list today. Number 3 on my list today, you can see the hanging baskets behind me. I need to replace those Coco liners. They have been in there for more than 2 years, and it's not really holding any water anymore. It's just like running straight through it. Now, those jasmine, the Summer and Snow, have been in there for 1 year, but I'm going to take them out and I'm going to break up the roots, replace the Coco liners, and put new soil in there. And I'm going to use either Proven Winners soil, or I'm going to use Espoma potting soil. So one of the two, and we're going to get those out. And then I have some gorgeous flowers that I'm going to plant around them called Go Dust. Let me show you that. How pretty this is gonna be. So they're tiny right now. They're not really blooming, but oh my gosh, when they do start blooming, they're gonna be so pretty. Look at that. So can you imagine? I've got three of each that I'm going to plant around that summer and snow. And that summer and snow already has a good amount of foliage on it. It's got pinks and greens and white, and they're starting to trail up like that little chain. So really exciting. And this is what I'm going to do, is do this gold dust. First time I'm planting this in my garden, so I'm excited about that. And the gold dust, it says it's trailing. It says it blooms till frost, so from April all the way till November, at some point in November. Last year we had an early frost. The year before that was the end of November. It stays short, so it's going to be really pretty on the edges. And this one is an annual, except in zones 10A to 11B. It says hardy to 25. So it does get a little cold. It gets colder a few days out of the year. 25 degrees here in Charlotte, North Carolina, zone 8 is where I'm at. It's said to fertilize regularly for best results. So I'll use the water-soluble fertilizer from Proven Winners, or I'll use the Maxi, which I really, really like. And I used that on my roses this past time for the first time. And I'm telling you guys, like, I don't know if it's just this year or this spring, but my blooms are gorgeous. Plus the invisible deer fence with the fishing line is holding up, and they did not eat my new blooms. So I've got more blooms this year. Exciting, exciting. Just to show you, this is the Maxi, and there's a lot in here. So I think this container I bought from Amazon, I'll put the link at the end of my description under more. This was about a $50 container, I think. And it has lasted me. So I have used this on my seedlings because it did not burn. It's a real light water soluble fertilizer. It's a 3-20-20. It's seedweed extract and micronutrients, and it is guaranteed analysis. Nitrogen, phosphate, soluble potash, sulfur, boron, copper, iron, magnesium. I don't even know how to say some of this stuff. Zinc. So yeah, there's the Maxi. I like this, and I do like my Proven Winners water soluble fertilizer as well. And I'll put that link up for you as well. All right, so we're gonna add these gold dust, like I just said, and then let me show you the Coco liner. I have 5 hanging baskets from my shepherd's hook, is what I call it, that's homemade by my husband. And I'll tell you in this video how he did that. I believe that I have videos showing that in the past, and I'll try to find it if I can, but I'm not promising. And so I think I put that in another video, and it was pretty hard for me to find, but I'll explain how he built that. But these are the Coco liners, and I bought these at King's Nursery in Matthews or Stallings, North Carolina, because they had them. And I bought my original containers that are the wrought iron, and it's this exact same brand, you guys. It's what I bought it from, is this one right here. So if you can find these online, if I can find it on Amazon, I will put the link for you in my details. But I won't know until I start to search for this. But these Coco liners, I believe, are $16, and they need to be replaced. These are a 16-inch right here. You gotta kind of know like what size you bought with your hanging baskets to what size replacement Coco liners that you need to replace it with. So I have 5 that I need to be replaced. 2 are behind me right here that have the jasmine and snow, and I'm going to put that gold dust around them. So that's going to be pretty. So we'll do that today in this video as well. told you that I'm going to add this gold dust right here. So for one, it's contrast. The greens are different. And I like that it's really dainty and it's got some yellow blooms on it. So I think it's going to like add to this container and not really take away. But honestly, I probably don't even need to add anything into this container. This alone is just beautiful enough. But do you know me? Like, I want more. I always want lots of blooms and lots of color and lots of interest. So here we go. I've got 3 of these to put in each one. Not very root bound, so we don't have to do anything there. I'm gonna kind of plant this at an angle, kind of like this instead of straight up and down. That way it will flow over, like it will spill over. And then I'll cover these roots up. All right, so here we go. I've got both of these containers done. So here's the gold dust. Of course, I just watered it, and it's gonna look a little sad until it soaks up all this water and gets refreshed, I guess I should say. So I'm excited to show what this is gonna look like in a garden tour. But this is that Summer and Snow Jasmine. Look how pretty that is, you guys. Look at the foliage on it. It's teeny tiny, like no bigger than my thumbnail, as you can see, but just lots of colors. And I think as the summer goes, it just gets brighter and brighter. You can see whites, you can see pinks, reds. That kind of looks like the polka dot plant from Proven Winners. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? I think it's like an indoor plant, but sometimes planted outdoor too. And then these are just gonna bounce right back. They're just a little soaked right now. And then here's the other one too. 3 gold dust, and then my plant right here. So like I said, let me just back up a little bit and just show you. So for one, I had a wrought iron shepherd's hook. And then these things are super heavy because they're wrought iron and they're really sturdy and very good quality. Well, these things are probably 25, 30 pounds when they're wet with the soil, plants, and then when they're completely wet. That shepherd's hook just would not hold it. So my husband, genius that he is, came up with this. So this is just a 4x4, and I believe it's 8 feet long. He put a solar light up there. You can put anything decorative up there, and that's all he did was get a 4x4 light post. That's a solar light right there, and it just makes a little bit of light, just gives it a little bit extra touch. I've even put birdhouses on top of these before, and they look good. And you got to find a hook that you like this bird hook right here was so pretty. This one's just a tad short because the container does hit against it a little bit, as you can see, but it's workable. So 12 inches does great. 18 inches does better. I believe so. I believe it was an 18 inch that does better. 24 inch is way too big. But anywhere from 12 inches to 18 inches works great. And then you can see I have a new Coco liner that looks great. It needed it. Wrought iron looks so pretty. It's got pretty chains going up it. And then I got a hook, and then I found this little bird one, which just added a little bit more touch. And there's the light feature that's just solar. Of course, I went with copper because it will like age and patina to blue. And then another one. And I like to offset my 2, just so it gives you a little bit of extra look. And then it's 2 feet in the ground. Of course, we have that hard clay, and there was no concrete needed, and it's not gone anywhere. It's been sturdy, 2 feet in the ground, and we painted it white because it's just a 4x4 from Lowe's or Home Depot, whichever one you want to go to. I bought these at Pike's Nursery, but I believe you can get them online. I'll try to find the link for you as well. And then I wanted to share the Garo with you down here too. So it's just about ready to come out and bloom, but just a very pretty, dainty little flower. See? I have this light pink and I have white in my garden as well. And then I have tall phlox. Let's come over here and look. I'm gonna plant 3 of those up today, and 2 I'm gonna replace and fill them up with soil, but then I have to go shopping for those containers. I haven't done that yet. So in the next container, it's gonna be more in a shady area, and we're gonna put some begonias. And let me show you the begonias, they're so pretty. These begonias are from Monrovia. I bought these at Lowe's and they were great quality. Look how pretty. So I have yellow, those saffron finch in my concrete containers here in my cottage garden. So I thought this would be really pretty. And this takes some part shade. So when my crepe myrtles get really big this year, like they did last year, they're starting to fill out right now, but they're not as big as they were last year. That will create a lot more shade in that area. So that container, I needed to put a little bit something different in that container this year. Now my garden's starting to change because when I started planting 5 years ago, I had nothing but full sun back here. So now that my trees are starting to get bigger, my crepe myrtles are getting bigger, and then my cryptomeria trees are getting bigger, I'm able to like start to put some shade loving stuff in my garden. And I'm really excited about that because for one, I can talk about new plants, and then I get to see new plants in my garden as well. So that is what the begonia looks like. And this is called Selenia Yellow Begonia. Takes full sun to partial sun, and it's an annual. See, it says it's a vigorous bloomer, excellent choice for hanging baskets or container, tolerates heat and sun, stands up to wind, and resists powdery mildew. For the light, it says 6+ hours of direct sun. So I think it'll get that. I think it's going to be happy over there. And it blooms spring to summer, fall. And it's hardy to 40 degrees. So yeah, this definitely will not winter over. It's definitely going to be an annual for me. But look how gorgeous those blooms are. Pretty excited about that. So the next thing on my list that I need to talk about is this Vego Garden. So Vego Garden sent this out to me probably about a month ago, but it's a tomato cage. And I could not put my tomatoes out a month ago because we were not in past our zone for frost. So I'm past that now and I'm ready to plant my tomatoes. They also have tomatoes too. So they sent me 6 or 7 tomatoes. Now I will never use 6 or 7 tomatoes because for one, my husband only loves these sweet cherry tomatoes. He doesn't like the bigger ones. That's one thing he doesn't like. Paul doesn't like onions, he doesn't like tomatoes or peppers, but he likes a lot of other things. But those things he's pretty adamant about that he does not want to try. Now he will eat my homegrown little cherry tomatoes because they are so good, and you cannot replace them. The freshness and the flavor that you get in those tomatoes from growing homegrown. So I'll promise you, like if you have never grown anything like that on your own, and it doesn't matter where you are, if you're in an apartment and you have like a little balcony, if you have like an area like mine where I don't have a lot of space to grow, I actually grew my tomatoes in my raised garden bed this year, but this year I'm going to play around with a lot of cut flowers, so I want to use that space for other things, for cut flowers instead of my tomatoes. But this is going to be a great option. So I'm on the concrete right now, so it's not going to roll really good, but it's got little rollers on it, and I'll show you a picture of the rollers. It's self-watering, which is pretty cool. It actually holds, on the box right here, it said it holds 2.4 gallons of water. Let's see. Yeah, water capacity, 2.4 gallons of water. This height right here, I think just this right here is 15 inches. 15 inches by 15 inches, and with the trellis, it's 40 inches tall. And the trellis was pretty easy to put together. I did have to have my husband to kind of like use some muscles and like tighten this up a little bit for me because I don't have a lot of strength in my hands because of ultrasound. But like he was able to do that for me. But it was really easy to put together. I didn't even have instructions at all. I was able to put this together without any instruction. do want to talk about like how great this product is from Vego Garden, and I'll put all the links in the descriptions, and like I'll put them in the comments in this video as well and in my description. So make sure you look. I'm gonna have lots of links for this video and lots of stuff under my description as well. But the one thing I want to talk about is this design feature. So I really like it because you can like move it around, it has wheels, and it's self-watering. So that design in itself is great. It comes with the trellis, so you don't have to like buy a different trellis. If you had like a grow bag, which I've done before as well, and it does work really well, so that's another option too. But I'm loving this product right here because I can use this year after year after year, and it's self-watering, and a grow bag's not self-watering. Plus it comes with it looks great. Like the design looks really attractable. So if you're gonna like put this out, I can even put this on my patio, and the design looks great with the trellis, with all these the vines of the tomatoes growing up this and being self-contained into this trellis, and I don't have to water it every single day. So that's an absolute plus. So it has great design features, and it's easy to use. I already talked about that. This piece came together like one whole piece right here, and then it comes with the wheels right here, and they just fit right in. It wasn't hard at all. And then you can lift this up. That water part goes down in here too. So the design is like great. It comes in different colors, and I'll throw up the different colors for you as well. But since my house is a dark iron gray, I thought this real light gray would look fantastic with my house. It matches. So I think they had a green color too that was very attractive. But you know, your garden's green, so it matches, and they got like great color combinations. So the design features are great. It's easy to use, and it's suitable for any space. So that's, like I said, I can use it here on my patio. And then if you even have a balcony and you want to grow your own tomatoes, then this is something that's going to be great for you. So I really do like the design and function of this piece right here. Now I will give you some tips of how to grow tomatoes. I've got 2 great tips, and I'll do that when I'm starting to plant it up. And then I'm going to put some good soil in here too. So another thing about growing in containers is that you can control your soil, where maybe not so much in the ground. Here in my zone, Charlotte, North Carolina, zone 8, we have real heavy clay soil. And I have put my tomatoes in the ground, but I do amend my soil. I don't just put it directly right into the clay soil. So anyways, with that being said, like, make sure you watch my videos about amending the clay soil. But when you grow in a container, you can control your soil. So you'll have great quality of soil in there too. And then like, it's easy to move around. So if you have morning sunlight and then you need to move it around, if it needs more sun, then you can just move it around, and you can rotate it too. So that's pretty exciting as well. Whether if it's in my raised garden bed, I wouldn't be able to rotate it. So that's something that you can also do, is rotate it. And then it comes like, you flip this up too, and it has like a self-watering thing. So when I do put water in here, you'll see a little bit closer. And then this little monitor, and I'm not sure what you call this, you can comment and tell me what it is. But anyways, it will like monitor how much water's in here, and I think this little thing will pop up, but we'll see whenever we add water into it. So that is that. And the benefits of owning one of these little Vego gardens, which is the garden trellis, and I'll put the name up for you. It saves space. I love the trellis, and it's very mobile. So those are 3 great benefits of owning a little Vego garden with a tomato cage. Another thing that I'm going to add into this container, I'm going to throw a couple of marigolds that I grew from seed. I'm very excited to share that with you, but I'm going to throw a couple of marigolds in here, and in that way I think the marigolds like will attract more of the aphids, but it's supposed to help keep disease away. And the more that I learn, I need to Google a little bit more about that, and I'll throw it up on the screen, the benefits of adding companion plants with your tomatoes to help control disease and aphids. Good morning, friends. It's the next day. I did not get everything done yesterday that was on my list. Look at this cute little pet that I bought at a bird store. Isn't that pretty? Love my hummingbirds. And actually I saw a hummingbird this morning and I tried to catch it on film and it like buzzed away before I can grab my camera and get there. And I do need to make some sugar water, and that'll be in another video that we'll do for you guys. But look, I got that Nespresso that my friend Bonnie made for me the other morning, and oh my gosh, like I love this stuff. I'll have the link. It's a whole coffee maker called Nespresso, and they have the little cafe cups for it. Put a little bit of creamer in there and it's frothy. Look, it is so good. Oh. Love it. No sugar added. My favorite cup. Coffee here in the morning. It's just glorious. I could do this every single day of my life. So anyways, I did not get finished yesterday. I did get my container with my begonias in there, so I'm gonna have to share that with you. I was out here last night after, it's my birthday week, you guys. So I'm celebrating all week. Can you believe that? Like I've never done that before in my life. So first time celebrating a whole week of my birthday. I'll be 55 this year. Can you believe that? Like I feel like that is just like a milestone, and it just freaks me out a little bit. I just feel like that's old. I know it's not old, but in the whole scheme of things, it feels like it, 55. Anyways, I'm going to embrace it, and I feel good at 55, so that's all that counts. And anyways, so I will show you my begonias, but I'm going to get these tomatoes all planted up. So here we go. Vego Garden sent these out to me, and I had to share some with neighbors because I'll never eat all these tomatoes, but we do love the little cherry tomatoes. And this one right here is called Sweet 100. Right there, and this is the tomato. Already got some little flowers on it, so it's going to produce fruit soon. There we go. They actually sent me 7 plants, but this one is called Sun Gold. Right there. And that's what this plant looks like. So I am going to remove some of these. They sent it to me a while back, and I had to keep it living because we were past our frost date. But I do have some tips when we start to plant these. A lot of people say that you can even plant like all the way up to here. See the root bases down here? I can plant all the way here. So sometimes like all of these right here, I can either snip off or plant them and they'll become roots. And then some people say to lay it on your side and bury all of this except for like right here. So you'll bury all of this and just have this exposed. I don't think I'm gonna have enough room in this Vego garden to do that, but I definitely have room to do it like this. Oh, look, I missed it. Look, guys, I already have fruit on it. I didn't even notice that until just now. It's funny. But you can see how like down here, it's already starting to grow some leaves too, right here. So yeah, we're gonna bury it all the way up to here. And then that way, all of these will start to grow roots and it'll be a healthier, happy little plant. As always, I'm going to use good quality soil. I have my proven winners today, and then I'm going to put biotone starter in there as well. And this Bonia also makes tomato tone, so I have it. And this is great for any kind of gardening. It doesn't have to be just for tomatoes. Tomato and vegetable food. See it right there? So I'll have this link in my description as well, and we're going to throw some of this in the Vego garden too. So why not, right? Put my gloves on. I just got my nails done not too long ago. They're pretty corally color this time. That's what I went with. All right, another sip of coffee. It is so good. I highly suggest that Nespresso. All right, proven winners, quality soil. Been a little bit easier if I didn't have the cage on it. Let's see if I can. And they're pretty good. I'm just gonna leave it. probably gonna make a mess. Let's see if I can go up over this way. Making a mess. Like I always do, right? Gardening's got to be a little messy, right? A little messy. Some biotone in there. This is going to be for healthy roots, remember? Biotone is for healthy roots, and it makes it, it says it promotes bigger blooms, roots, for flowers, trees, shrubs, and vegetables. You guys, it does work. Like, I promise you, start planting with this biotone, whether it's, like I said, annuals, perennials, shrubs, trees, and you will not be disappointed. It is awesome. I'll throw some of this in there as well. Now, I know there's lots of tips and tricks for tomatoes, so comment below, like, and let my audience know, because we're all learning here. So it's not just me teaching you. Like, we are a community. We need to teach each other. We need to learn from each other. I don't know everything. Not everybody knows everything. So just kind of comment like what your tips and tricks are. I've heard, and I have done before, when I have eggs before, like the eggshells, I've saved my eggshells and I baked them and crushed them up, and I put them around tomatoes because the tomatoes likes the calcium. I have heard that you could put, like what you take for your GI tract for like reflux, that you can put one of those in the bottle. I heard that you can like put a whole entire egg like in the bottom and let it decompose, that you could do that too. I think the smell won't be bad. I don't know if you crack it open and then put it in there. I think you crack the egg open and lay it down in underneath the tomato. All right, I thought I'd bring the camera a little closer to you guys so you can see up and down when I plant this right here. So I believe this one is the sun gold right here. So I'm gonna make tags so I can put in here to remember which one's which. Now honestly, some of you are gonna say, Kim, that's too many for this one pot. Probably is, but I don't have any other place to put them right now. So I'm gonna put both of them in here and they're gonna share this space. So yeah, I know it's probably one will probably be sufficient and be really happy in here, but I'm gonna put both. It's got a very good root system. I don't need to break it up because it's not really root bound. And like I said, I'm gonna bury it all the way up to here, to right there. So get him in here so he's gonna be able to grow up to on the trellis. And I'm just gonna dig. I'm gonna put one in this corner and one in that corner. Get it all the way down in there. There we go. Really deep. So, and then this is the other one. And I'm gonna plant it all the way up to like there, right there. All of this is gonna be deep into the ground or into my container. I'm just going to push down on the soil. I'm going to add more soil around it. think of any other little things about tomatoes other than what I just told you. Of course, I haven't had time to Google. Sometimes I'll Google it just to give me some ideas to give to you guys. But I buried my tomatoes like this last year in my raised garden bed. I had so many volunteers that the only thing that I planted was a couple of vegetables in that garden last year, and I had zinnias popping up from last year and everything. I still have a lot of volunteers coming up in one of my containers too. I think it's Locia though. No, I think so. Almost used a whole bag just on this container right here. All right, that's what my tomatoes are looking like. Do you see in there? So while I'm at it, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you I really love this dram gardening hose right here. Love it. Get it turned around here. Now this is a self-watering container. You're like, okay Kim, why are you adding water to this? Because it's a self-containing. Well, because this soil has never been wet before, ever. So we're gonna like give it a complete soak. Now it does not have a drain hole because it's a self-watering, but the water that I add in here will go down into that container because it will wick it up from the bottom up to the roots. So that's how a self-watering container works. And when we do it, this is where you like add the water, and then this thing's gonna pop up. So let's go ahead and see how this is gonna work. Can you see this? Isn't that fun to watch? Wasn't that fun watching this go up? I thought it was really cool. So when this goes down, completely down, it will let me know that I need to water this. So I think that's awesome. Now, getting back to my original, like this soil was completely dry when I put it out. It's never been wet. So you want to make sure like you soak this soil really, really well. And it does take a good amount more of water than you actually think that it does. So just kind of keep that in mind, you guys. Like you have to soak it really, really well. I think this is where I'm going to keep this for now because it is on rollers and I can keep it up here and keep an eye on my tomatoes. And then whenever I want them, it's like really easy and convenient close to my kitchen there. So anyways, here is my new Vego Garden. Like get you one. I'm going to have a link in the description like I told you as well. And then I get a small commission off this too if you order from me. I think I'm going to like it. I think it's pretty cool. So I can move this around. Whenever, if this is not getting enough sun, I can move it to another location as well. So it's kind of cool that it's on, you know, like this is not smooth, so I had to kind of like wiggle it around. But anyways, it's on wheels, so it's easy to move around because I'm sure it'd be heavy to pick this up now. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that it gave you some inspiration to get out, get you a little Vego garden here. What else did we do? I hope we changed out the Coco liners. We talked about new plants. I put up some supports for my roses. I showed you some gorgeous blooms, of course, because that's what I'm all about with Backyard Blooms with Kim. And my nose is running again. Anyways, like I said, make sure you like, share, and subscribe my videos because it helps me. The more likes that I get, YouTube sends it out to the world and says, hey, like, pay attention to Kim with Backyard Blooms with Kim. And the more shares, the more people that know about me, because I'm trying to get my name out. And so I like to go part-time with this and my work part-time, but I need your help to do that. And make sure you subscribe. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye, friends.